I have multiple ghost stories from when I was a kid about ghosts that I've seen with my very own eyes. And the weird thing is they're all kind of zombie related, so I don't know what that means or what that says about me. But that's what my experience has been. And this is very different content than I normally make on this channel, but I thought they were interesting stories, so I wanted to share them. So the first time I ever witnessed something paranormal like this was when I was around 3 to 5 years old, living in the first house I ever lived in. And I was walking by the little den area that my parents used as the home office. And when I walked by, I was looking at my dad's desk that had 2 drawers on each side, so there's like a square cutout where the chair goes. And the really weird, creepy thing that I saw was a pair of legs that looked like they had been torn off somebody, like something from a Saw movie with all the, I was gonna say the guts hanging out. There's no guts in your legs, with like the bones and the blood and the veins and everything hanging out. And it looked like they were walking sideways and then upside down and then down the other side of the cutout where the chair goes for the desk. And I was kind of taken aback, but I just kept walking by. And I remember being really freaked out by this and being like, why the hell did I see that? And looking back, I don't know why I kept walking by. I don't remember exactly what I did for the rest of the day, but that memory has really stuck with me because that's a really freaky thing to see with your eyes. And the crazy thing is that house was right by a cemetery, and my brother also has his own ghost stories of things he's seen in that house, including a dead bride. So I don't know if that plays a role or if I was just hallucinating, going a little bit schizophrenic for a moment, but I saw torn off legs walking in the little cubby hole of the desk. And I don't really enjoy that. I don't enjoy that experience. But it doesn't end there. Okay, for the next story, this one is the most profound in my opinion. It's the most creepy, but also the most ghost-like, and it's the one that really sticks in my memory the most when I'm thinking about my ghost experiences. This takes place in another house that we moved to that I call the 2-story house because it's the only house I've lived in that's been 2-story. And I was around like 9 or 10 years old. So to describe the layout of where this took place, the top story had a hallway in the middle, and on one side there was a bedroom that we used as the home office, and right across from that was my brother's room, and on the other side of the hall was my bedroom and my parents' bedroom, plus a bathroom right in the center. So I was in our office with my dad, and he left to go take a shower, and I was waiting for him to get back from his shower still in the office. So at one point I was standing up with my back to the door that was open and staring into our office. And you know that feeling you get when someone's approaching you and you don't see them, you don't hear them, you don't smell them, but you can just like sense that someone's there or that someone's staring at you? I got that feeling, and I thought it was my dad finished with his shower. So I turned around to greet him, and standing there in the middle of the hallway was this, what I call the
zombie ghost.
It had this like yellowish skin that was decaying, and it honestly kind of looked like the Flood from Halo. Don't ask me why, that's just what it reminds me of in terms of like the coloring and the general vibe that I got from it, but more human-like and zombie decaying-like.
I asked AI to draw what I saw, and it's not exact, but imagine a being with decaying yellow skin, an unhinged jaw, and demonic eyes. And I actually very recently learned that the ghouls from Fallout look surprisingly a lot like what I saw, a little bit better than what the AI did.
And you know in scary movies when something scary happens and the camera frame crops in like 3 times to give this emphasis to how the moment was really shocking and terrifying for the person it was happening to? I swear that's what happened with my own vision. Like, I was petrified when I turned around and saw this with my own eyes, standing in the middle of the hall. My vision just kind of cropped into it, terrifyingly. Just as quickly as it appeared, it vanished. It was gone from my vision. And I was terrified, so I ran across the hall into my brother's room. The door was closed, but I barged in because I was like, I need to be around somebody right now. What the hell just happened? And he was mad at me because I didn't knock. Of course, siblings. He was angry that I just barged into his room. But the weird thing is, when I ran through where the ghost had been in the center of the hall, because I had to run through where it was, that's the only way to leave the room, it was cold. And there were no AC vents right there in the hall. Like, I've always been a very logically minded person, even as a kid. So I was investigating after the fact, why was it cold in this one spot? Because before then and after then, I had never experienced the hall being unusually cold in that spot ever. It's always the same temperature as the adjoining rooms, and the AC vents are way down the other side of the hall. So that made no sense to me. And the interesting thing is, in the moment that I saw the ghost, I empathically kind of picked up on its feelings. And the surface level felt really angry, which was even scarier. But underneath, I felt this like undercurrent of deep sadness. So that's really weird. And looking back at this memory, because I have revisited this memory many times over the past years, because that's such a weird freaking thing to experience. I honestly don't know if I was hallucinating, if I had a temporary moment of schizophrenia, if it was just, I was gonna say my imagination, but like I saw it with my eyes. It shook me to my core so much that I ran across the room into my brother's room without knocking, barging in, knowing that he would be mad, and he was mad. So like I saw something with my eyes. Just what it was, I don't know. Was it a hallucination? Was it actually a ghost? Was it not a ghost but something adjacent? Was it a demon? Like honestly, I don't know if I believe in either. I don't know if what I truly think about ghosts, if I think they're real or not. I just know that I've experienced these weird paranormal things and I don't know what else to call it, so I call it a ghost. I don't know what to name these experiences anymore looking back. All I know is that I saw them with my eyes and I call them my ghost stories. So take it for what you will. But it doesn't end there. I have a third story. So same house, but my mom had rearranged the rooms so that my brother's room in the office was flipped, exchanged all the furniture. So I was in the office and I was sitting in a desk that we had that was right in the corner, and where you sit, you could look out into the hall, the same spot where the zombie ghost was. And this was like a couple years later after our cat Maudie died. It was just like a week or two after he died, when I was still in that state where sometimes I would forget that he was dead and I would kind of expect to see him. So I'm sitting at the computer and I felt fur brush beneath my foot because, you know, I was very little, very short. My feet were dangling in the chair that I was sitting in. I mean, let's be real, my feet still dangle in the chairs that I sit in because I'm only 5 feet tall. But I was even shorter back then. And my feet are dangling in the chair that I'm sitting in, and I feel fur brush against my right foot. And I look down, I look around the room to see like what just brushed against me, because it was a very distinct feeling. Like it was a very solid feeling. It wasn't like subtle by any means. It was like I genuinely felt fur brush up against my right foot. And I see a cat out of the corner of my eye in the hall, and I turn to look at it, getting all excited. I thought it was Maudie for, you know, a fleeting second. But Maudie was not what I saw. What I saw could best be described as a zombie cat. And I don't know why it's always zombie things, but it was this black and orange cat that looked like it was decaying. And it was just kind of peacefully sitting in the hall, and it opened its mouth as if to give a meow, and then it just disappeared. Just like my other experiences where I freak out and they just poof, go away. And just like the ghost before, I was super frazzled and scared and confused and concerned about what I had just seen. The interesting thing is, there was a feral cat that would live in our neighborhood that we actually named Orange Face because it was black and orange. And just before this, that cat had mysteriously vanished along with all of its babies. I don't know if animal control came and took them, if they died. We don't know what happened to them, except for one that she left behind. But we ended up adopting that cat, and she is still with me. Her name is Jerry, despite her being a girl with a boy name. It's a long story. And so maybe Orange Face was coming to say hello to me and thank me for adopting Jerry. But why she was decaying and looked like a freaking zombie cat, I don't know. And the annoying thing is, I hate zombies. I hate zombies with a passion. I can't watch zombie movies. I don't like zombie anything. People love fantasizing about the zombie apocalypse. I would kill myself if the zombie apocalypse happened. I hate zombies with a passion. They're genuinely one of my #1 fears, which I'm grateful they're not like technically real, so it's good to have your fear be something that most likely won't actually happen, except for the fact that I've like seen it with my eyes. But a lot of my nightmares involve zombies. Like I hate zombies so much, so I have no clue why every spooky ghosty experience that I've had has been zombie related, which makes me wonder, like, am I just hallucinating this? Is it just like a manifestation of my fears? Are they not ghosts? Was my vibration just like really low and I was seeing demons? Was it Orange Face coming to thank me? But then she was also taking form of her dead body? I don't know. I don't like it. But luckily I have not seen any ghosts since the zombie cat. And that would have been when I was like 10, 11, 12. Actually, how long ago? When did I get Jerry? So yeah, I think that would have been when I was around 12. 11 or 12 when I saw the zombie cat. And I've also seen orbs multiple times in my life. In that same two-story house when I was in the bathroom, there was once where I saw a golden orb shoot down the hallway and I like watched it with my vision. And again, very logically minded. So I was like, is there a window somewhere that like a car reflection would have resulted in something that looked like that? But there's no way that the way the hallway was set up that a window would have done that. And I had never seen anything like that before or since. And it was like, it looked like a 3D orb flying in the middle of the hall. I know what I saw. It was not a car light or something. And I've seen orbs a few other times, but that's one of the most notable ones that stands out in that same hallway. The hallway's haunted. And while I lived in that house, I lived there from like 9 to 13-ish. I always hated that hallway. I could not be in it if the lights were off. I was always terrified of that hallway because I'd seen so many freaking things there. So since then I haven't had any more ghost experiences, thank God, because I don't want to have any more. Still don't know why they're always decaying beings. And I don't know what that says about me. I honestly don't know if I believe in ghosts or like how that pertains to what happens to us in the afterlife, if that's like a temporary step that some souls go through. I don't really know what my beliefs are about that. I'm open-minded to it, definitely, but a little bit confused about how that would work. And so maybe these were some other kind of entity, like demons or something else. Maybe they were hallucinations. All I know is that I saw them with my eyes, and it's very freaky. Very, very freaky. But anyway, that's it for now. These are the stories that live with me in my subconscious that I pull forward just to share with you. I don't know why I'm talking like this. But anyway, that's it for now. I'm curious, do you have any ghost stories? Do you believe in ghosts? Have you seen any? Do you know people who have seen any? Do you believe that ghosts are real when you hear these stories? And what do you think these were? Why were they always decaying beings? If someone has answers about why the only ghosts that I've seen have been decaying, I would love to know. I'd love to hear your stories and your beliefs in the comments below. But until next time, you can watch one of my old videos right over here. And I'm sending you so much love and protection from ghosts. Bye.